Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Gorr and this is season 49, war number 1. So in this war I have 9 fights and my team is Emma Frost, Hood and Void. So we start with part 5 first and then we go on to part 6 and then the mini bosses. So the first fight on part 5 is a Photon on ebb and flow knockdown, debuff immunity and force of will. So here I'll be using Emma Frost and the plan is to initially parry a bit to gain some permanent prowesses and then bait out a heavy attack, do a double dash back and then do a heavy so that you don't get hit with the Photon's heavy attack. And then it's the usual Photon play where you keep an eye on the charges, the pure flight charges I think, and once he is above 10 you try to knock her down so that she goes into her pure light form, and then you wait out those charges until they get to 0 and that's how you just play her. So here I'm knocking her down, and once the debuff immunity is there, it's actually a good thing because you cannot parry her, so that means she won't go untouchable and it's easy to bait a heavy attack that way. So now she has the protection up and now I'm cornered, so over here I think might just use a special to knock her down, and then once she is in the corner I'll try to bait another special one and retaliate with a heavy attack and get her into the pure light form and just wait out this pure light form, and afterwards I think I'll just do another heavy, knock her down, get the fury, and after that just use my basic hits and use my SP2 to finish off this fight. So it was a bit of a longer fight but was really a safe fight. So next up is Nick Fury on the same ebb and flow knockdown and the unstoppable heavy node. So here I guess I was using an invulnerability boost. So here the plan is to initially parry heavy because in the diamond form if you do a heavy they don't gain a lot of power and you gain a lot of power, so this way I can reach my SP2 faster. So I normally do like 3 heavies and afterwards I just try to chain a few combos and just use my SP2 with max prowesses. So this did a lot of damage and it was I think a 140k SP2 crit in the end. So here what I'm trying to do is, since he's in his second life, I have to be careful now because I cannot parry, and if he throws a heavy attack he's gonna be unstoppable. So my only openings are if I throw a special and knock him down to get a fury and like my relic. So over there I use my relic so that I can knock him down and use my SP3, and this way I pushed him to a special 2, baited out a special 2, and this way I got to my special 2 before the fury expired. So the fight went well. Next up is CGR on the return policy node I guess. So here the plan was again to use Emma, do 3 heavies and try to keep his power up until the first bar. So here I just did like 2 heavies. So now I just wanted to bait a special one, and what I do is I try to block the or parry the last 2 projectiles because if I try to do the first projectile it's going to be a bit tricky because of the unblockable. So if you try to block the first part of his projectile SP1 projectile. It's probably unblockable, and the fight wasn't even that long. I just chained I think two SP2s, and the third SP2 just basically finished off the fight. So next up is Mangog on, I don't remember the node. It's basically if I block his specials, he gains prowesses, and at 3 prowesses, so his specials are unblockable. So with Void, my plan is just to do 4 hit combos so that he doesn't gain his rage charges, and here we did get hit twice, which was not a big deal because like we had the invulnerability boost, so it was all good. So here I'm just gonna bait HP once because it's fine. I don't want to push him to a special 2 because then I have to block a lot of hits and he's gonna gain a lot of prowesses. So my plan was just to bait out SP once and wait out his enrage timer. If I have a special ready, just throw the special to counter the unstoppable. But since it's a low sig Mangog, the unstoppable timer or the enrage timer is not that long, so it all works out in my favor, and he goes down. Next up is a very interesting fight, which is Bullseye. It's a 7-star rank 2 Bullseye on node 38, ebb and flow knockdown, aggression prowess, and the debuff immunity node. So here I have the white max pre-fight and also the horseman. So my plan with Emma is just to do parry heavies initially, and in the telepathic form I can counter his evade if he goes above 1 bar of power, and just basically throw special 2s. And what you'll see in this fight is something which I even didn't expect. So here we knock him down and we do 1 hit SP2 and it just kills him off, which was nice. It was a 79k crit and I think a 160 or maybe a 180k crit in the end, which was amazing. So next up is this Gorr on node 40, which is the burden of might node, and also it has something to do with the region. So whenever they gain a regeneration buff or effect, any kind of effect, at 10 they go unblockable. So with Gorr, each hit gives him a regeneration buff. So my plan with Void is just to basically cycle SP once, bait out SP once, and basically use his regen and reverse it. And the only thing I have to be careful about in this fight is first of all the indestructible charges. I have to maintain my prowesses by hitting his block because I cannot parry because of the shadow magic buffs. So if I take a medium hit on the block or if I eat a combo, I'm dead. So here what I'm doing is I'm just baiting out special ones strictly, not even pushing him to a special 2, and just hitting his block with light attacks so I get the prowesses to counter the indestructible buffs or the passives. So, and with the petrifies, the region is going to be handled. It's not gonna reverse it, but at least it's gonna stop the region. So since Gorr is not immune to heal block, like he is immune to heal block but he's not immune to heal reversal, so that kind of like makes the fight a bit more easier. So here he's at 4%, 3%, 2%, 1%, and he goes down. So it's a risky fight, but if you play it right, it's I think one of the easier fights. So next we have Baron Zemo on node 44, hazard shift, incinerate and poison, and stun immunity. So I'm gonna use Hood for this fight, and the basic plan in this fight is Hood is not immune to any of the debuffs. So what I'm going to rely on is the Fate Seal from the special 2, because it reduces the ability accuracy by 65% as long as it's on Baron Zemo. So this way I'm not gonna gain a lot of debuffs each hit, and I just have to try and maintain my hexes. And basically at one point, once I'm around 20 hexes, I'm just gonna use my special 2, or like get to 25 hexes and just throw a heavy attack, and with the burst damage he's just gonna melt. So that was the plan, and the plan worked well. Next up is Kingpin on node 46, which is I think aspect of evolution, and unblockable SP2. So here my plan was to use Hood, but I saw the bullets and I had like probably 6 bullets or something. So I decided to use Ammo Frost for this fight. I have the White Max pre-fight. So since I was running the Mystic boosts, I didn't switch it back to the Mutant boost because it's a bit expensive, and I felt like I don't have the need for it. So I'm gonna do this fight without the mutant boosts. So my plan is, in the diamond form, I'm just gonna try and do parry heavies because that's gonna give him less amount of power. And once I reach my telepathic form, I'm just gonna get to a special 2 and just use it when he has the least amount of power. I just have to be careful that I don't push him to a special 2. And here it crits around 100k or something, which was pretty nice to watch. Or like while fighting, it's a sight to see. So what I'm gonna do here is, I think another thing which I'm doing is I'm trying to parry his special ones, so I gain additional prowesses each time. And yeah, the fight was down. So it was a fairly simple fight, even without the power back boosts. So the damage was good. Next up is a rank 3 Sasquatch. It's gonna be the last fight. So it's on a conflictor node. So basically, with the tactic attackers, what you can do is you can get to 3 prowesses, and once you get to 3 prowesses, you can disable conflictor and masochism. So that's what I did. So you don't need a white max pre-fight, especially for these kind of fights. If you can use a tactic attacker, it's the like you don't need a white max. You save a white max pre-fight and it can be used somewhere else. So here the plan is not to repeat the same action twice, because if you do that, he gains a block penetration passive and also prowess buff. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to do a parry light medium, so that I'm not repeating the same action twice. And here, and sometimes I'm also doing a medium, or even a full 5-hit combo, but I'm making sure, like, I push him to a bar of power with that. So yeah, you just have to be careful about it. And I'm just gonna cycle special ones because of the debuffs. The debuffs or the petrifies also stop his regen passives. So the fight is going really well. And yeah, that's about it for this fight. I guess after the special one, it's gonna throw another special one, and after a few hits he is gonna go down. So yeah, so that was it for my war. We also won this war, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. See you in the next one.